Yo, steal this from Roy Jones Jr. One of Roy Jones' signature punches was his Gazelle Hook. He's not the only one that would do it. We got guys like Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, just off the top of my head, right? And countless others. It's a technique that I would see over and over when I was watching fights and doing film studies. And I start to notice this move, and then I was like, well, why do they use it? Now, gazelles are really good for closing distance. My opponent is farther away from me. I'm going to leap in and punch at the same time instead of maybe stepping in and then throwing the hook, right? I kind of give it away to my opponent. This is a very explosive, athletic move, which Roy Jones had all of that in spades. So let's break this down a little bit more step by step. So without the hands, really what's happening with the gazelle is I'm loading it a little bit to the front leg, right? This is gonna allow me to kind of unwind my legs. Slow motion, what it's gonna look like is this foot's gonna push and go first. And then your front foot is gonna move forward, okay? The back foot replaces where the front foot was, okay? We are not just like stepping forward like that, just like we do like a step back. We're not doing that forward, right? Our front foot isn't leading the movement. This one breaks a little bit of the boxing rules though, where we normally, if we're moving forward, we move the front foot first, right? This one is not the case really. So we're here, we're gonna load it with our legs first, then I'm going to gazelle forward, okay? The distance which we cover and gazelle in really depends on how far away your opponent is. If my opponent is really close, I could just make a small one like that, okay? If my opponent is a little bit farther, I'll demonstrate with the punch now. I gazelle in a little bit bigger. Obviously, there has some trade-offs there, right? We could make a short gazelle punch, right? I could load it, right? Say my opponent's really close to me. I don't really have to leap in too far. Say maybe my opponent's moving away from me, or there's a great distance in between us, right? I leap in a little bit bigger. Obviously, the bigger we leap in, the more we might be at risk, right? If we get punched while we're flying in the air, I shouldn't have to tell you, we're probably gonna get knocked down or maybe even knocked out. So you have to watch out for that, right? All boxing moves and techniques are time and place, right? You can do this in this situation, you can't do it in this situation. Boxing is not black and white, okay? You need to get that out of your head, okay? In my opinion, if you've seen it done before, it can be done again, right? Especially if you see patterns. Like Roy Jones would do this a lot, right? A gazelle punch. He's not the only one that would do it. We got guys like Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, just off the top of my head, right? And countless others. It's a technique that I would see over and over when I was watching fights and doing film studies. And I start to notice this move, and then I was like, well, why do they use it, right? The main reason they use that gazelle is to get closer to my opponent. It cuts distance really fast. It gets close to them with an attack as well. So they have to defend and move back, hopefully. And if not, what that gazelle allows me to do is get closer to them, so maybe I could follow up with another punch. The gazelle might not always land, right? But it can be used to get into that attack range and to help you open up and land some other shots. Now, Roy would have a few ways of throwing this gazelle punch. Sometimes he wouldn't load it, meaning I don't load the hips first before I throw it. He would throw it what I call naked, without anything in between, right? There's no tell to it. He's here, sometimes he'd reach out that hand, right, to kind of distract you, right? And then Roy was super tricky, man. I don't think we'll ever see a fighter like Roy Jones again. He'll throw a double hook at the end, right? Or he'll throw like two gazelle hooks, which is really tricky to throw a double left, right? He gets you moving back on the first one. You think he's not coming in. He's coming in again with another gazelle. Roy Jones Jr. in his prime was like a video game, right? I think he's one of the most like underrated boxers of all time that nobody like talks about. But if you've watched his clips, you know, go on YouTube right now, Roy Jones Jr. highlights, you'll be like, why have I ever like not seen more of this guy? Why don't they put him on the GOAT list? You know what I mean? And to me, he's right up there, right? Not many fighters have done what Roy Jones Jr. has done, right? He was the first boxer sponsored by Jordan back in the day, right? So like, that just shows you like how on par he was with the best of all time. By the way, I built a full breakdown on how you can move like Roy Jones Jr. I'll walk you through the exact drills inside of my community. The link's in the bio.